Alrighty. Maths time. So the two things you'll need to have are 1. This worksheet, your lesson 7 worksheet, and 2, your PowerPoint slides for lesson 7. So let's get into it. I'll run through the PowerPoint slides and then I'll tell you when to do your independent work and what questions you'll need to answer. But they'll be pretty much the exact same as they appear on the slideshow. So this lesson is solving multiplication and division problems. Don't forget your warm-up, which is your number facts. Today's waltz, we are learning to solve multiplication and division problems, including word problems. Pretty familiar, isn't it, from yesterday? Wilf, can you recall your multiplication facts accurately? So that says accurately. Doesn't mean doing it quickly. So we really want to take a little bit of time, maybe slow things down a bit so that we can get as many as we can correct. Can you apply multiplication facts to complete extended facts? Can you solve multiplication and division problems? So in today's lesson, you'll be exploring multiplication and division. Let's revise those two terms, multiplication and division. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to write a brief explanation for multiplication and a brief explanation for division. So if I were to ask you, what is multiplication? I want you to write a response. If I were to ask, what is division? I want you to write a response. Okay, so pause the video and write down your answers. Now, if you've got the chance to, you can explain to Mum or Dad what multiplication is and what division is. Okay. Open the learning object Trends Alien Pet Shop. Now, if you have access to that, you can do that. We did put a link in the OneNote. If it is not coming up, that's completely fine. It's just an extra learning object that you can have access to if it works. How confident are you with your 5s and 8s multiplication facts? You need to practice so that you become more fluent. Remember, with your 5s, we're counting in 5s. They always end in 5 and 0. And your 8s are simply double, double, double. So in units 1 and 3, which we did last term, you explored multiples. Let's see what you can remember about multiples. So we got some numbers here, and this is the first question on your worksheet. The numbers are 8, 9, 16, 25, 27, 32, 33, 50. You need to sort those numbers into the following boxes. Which ones are multiples of 3? Which ones are multiples of 4? Which ones are multiples of 5? What is a multiple, Mr. G, you might ask? Well, for example, 9 would be a multiple of 3 because I know that 3 times 3 equals 9. So 9 can be a number can be multiplied by 3 to get to 9. Okay, another example is 8. 8 is a multiple of 4 because 4 times 2 gives me 8. So if a number is multiplied by 4 to give me that number, then it is a multiple. So see if you can sort all of those numbers into those 3 boxes. Pause the video and give that a crack. Now B says, imagine you had to place 555 in the correct multiples column. Geez, that's a big number. How are you gonna know which column to put it in? Briefly explain where it would fit and how you would know that. So is 555 going to be a multiple of 3, a multiple of 4, or a multiple of 5? And how do you know that? Pause the video and unpause when you're done. Yes, it is a multiple of 5 because 555 ends in 5. So we know that all numbers that end in 5 are multiples of 5. Okay, knowing multiples is useful when solving multiplication and division problems. For example, if I have to multiply a number by 5, I know my answer will end in 5 or 0 because all multiples of 5 end in 5 or 0. So I know that 332 is not a multiple of 5. So they give me clues, don't they, when I know my multiples well. Okay, let's do the multiplication facts for the 5s. So let's see if this opens. It's not going to open. Okay, but we've practiced our number facts. So all this slideshow is just practicing your 5s facts. Okay, have a look at number 5 on your worksheet, which is the next one down. Now here are the instructions. Use the grid below to shade a continuous pathway from the start, which is here, all the way to the finish, which is here. You can only shade squares that are multiples of 8. You can only move up, down, left or right. So I can only, if I start here, I can only go up where there's nothing. I can go down, I can go left, which nothing is there, and right. I can't go diagonal. So for example, if I thought, okay, let's try right, the number 20, is it a multiple of 8? No, it's not. So I have to go back to the start and I'll try the other one. 16, is it a multiple of 8? Yes, it is, because 2 times 8 gives me 16. So I can color in 16. Then I try that again. I want to get close to the finish, so I'm probably going to look down. 24, that's a multiple of 8 because 8 times 3 is 24, so I'd shade that in. All right, so you get the idea. You're trying to get to that finish, but you can only shade multiples of 8, and you can only go left, right, up and down. You can't go diagonally. All right, give that a crack, see how you go. It's a fun little activity. Pause the video and have a crack. Number 6. You have learned about the patterns when multiplying by 10,000 or 1,000. You can use this information to solve extended multiplication facts. Okay, so if I can do 7 times 5 down here, then I can do 7 times 50, because the only difference is that there's a 0 added in. So I have to put the 0 on the end of the answer. So solve these facts by first identifying the base fact. The first one has been done for you. So what this activity wants you to do is, first of all, cross out the zeros or pretend that the zeros don't exist, and then do the base fact. So they've gotten rid of the 0, they've done the base fact, 7 times 5, which is 35. Then they've written down what applies. Is it tens, hundreds, or thousands? 50 is a tens. It's not a hundreds or a thousands. So they've gone times 10, and then they've taken the base fact and they've added the 0 back on at the end. So here, 3,000 times 4. What's the base fact? What's the fact without the zeros? What do we need to apply? And then what is the answer? Pause the video and give number 6 a go. Okay, again, these aren't opening, so if you wanted to, you could practice your 8s times tables however way you want. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos out there about the 8s times tables. Okay, again, these slideshows don't appear to be opening. Yeah. But again, just some more extension on multiplication facts. Find number 9 on your worksheet. This is the last one you'll need to do. It says, read the following problems. Decide if you would solve them using multiplication or division. Circle the mathematical operation you would use to solve the problem. So I'll go through the first one. Goldie Giraffe eats 7 bags of apples per day. There are 12 apples in each bag. How many apples does Goldie eat? So it wants to find a total. And it's using words like each. And it's using a lot of words like groups of. Groups of relates to multiplication and division. But if it's looking for a total, it's probably going to be multiplication, isn't it? So I would circle the multiplication sign there. And then I'll take the numbers, which are 12 and 7, and I'd use that operation. Okay? And then I'd find my answer to work out how many apples Goldie eats. So again, B, the stadium for the Lucky Lion show has 54 rows of seats with 30 seats in each row. How many seats are there in the stadium? Again, it's looking for a total, isn't it? So give that one a go. Okay, once you've done B, B would be 54 multiplied by 30. I would have to go 54 multiplied by 3 because I cross out the 0 to make it a bit easier. I'd work out 54 times 3, which is 108, 162, and then I'd add the 0 in at the end, which is 1,620. Okay, so that's the strategy I'm using. Give C, D, E, and F a go all by yourself. And then once you've done that, you finish the lesson. Well done, and I will see you in science this afternoon. Enjoy.